Hey, this is Paul, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So, I want to give you some tips on using LinkedIn Live events to create awareness, interest in what you're doing, engage with handpicked prospects. A couple things before I jump into that process is I tell everybody that I'm working with, and I work with Vistage chairs, executive coaches, privately held businesses on the growth and nurture of their business, and been around for 14 years, founder, president of Giant Jacks Media, great clients across the country. But what I tell everybody is that we all have this funnel. You've seen this funnel before, but I call this a build funnel. At the top of your funnel, whatever business you're building, and whether you're a solopreneur or a bigger business, doesn't matter. You have this funnel and you've got to own this funnel and understand every nuance of it. And so at the top of the funnel, you've got to create awareness. Obviously, you've got to get people that don't know you aware that you even exist and the great things you're doing. And then you've got to be interesting, generate interest where you're standing out from the pack and being unique, being different. And when you do those two things well, you get engagement. And engagement comes from people clicking on, opening, replying to emails, for example. Obviously, people coming into your inbox if you're running cold outreach campaigns on LinkedIn or other places. It comes from the events I'm going to talk about, engagement. And so then when you get engagement, of course, you've got to convert. And this is managing your pipeline, being organized with your pipeline, and then obviously closing the business. And big announcements coming from me here soon on our new offering that's coming out, which is a completely AI-based pipeline management tool, proprietary. Me and the tech team building it. I use it for my businesses, and I'm iterating it for use for the clients I work with. So stay tuned to me because I got a lot going on there. It's going to be insane. But all right, so you've got that funnel. You've got to own it. What we do here is I get into this because one of the areas I'm talking about is going to be the Build Authority events. So you've got to have these 5 elements. I call these foundational pieces because if you don't have these, to me, it's bubblegum and toothpicks. Now, there's so much noise out there about what you can do this, do that, do SEO, do Facebook ads, build a massive YouTube channel, whatever it is. There's a lot of things you could do. I say, okay, you need to have these things going on, and this is going to put you 99% above everybody else you're competing with in your space. If you have this and it's humming along and these pieces are in tune with each other, and they are your elevated personal brand, very important, certainly for solopreneurs, executive coaches, Vistage chairs, but also for the founders, owners of businesses. I built out a law firm, for example. Our founder is branded. He's a rainmaker for the entire firm, lead singer of the rock band. So elevated personal brand matters everywhere. Then you got to do marketing. Marketing's your content. This has got to be original, authority-based content, not sharing other people's content. And there's a whole dive into that, of course. Then there's selling. These are the lead campaigns, doing LinkedIn the right way, other campaigns. And then there's nurture email, gathering email. Have a process for gathering email, getting it into your distribution platform, and then having blogs going out consistently where you're guiding, teaching, helping, not spamming people with newsletters nobody's reading. And then to what we're talking about now, Build Authority LinkedIn Live events. You have free tools. I have them. We all have them. LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn events. There's LinkedIn audio. They're underutilized. People like me, marketing people that are in the business, we use them. Of course, my clients are using them, but others don't for various reasons. But let's get into what it's all about. So here I have, okay, the idea behind the events is, if you go do a search on YouTube, Google, and you say, hey, how do I put on monthly webinars to grow a business? You're going to get 10 million hits. It's a thing, right? Industry. And how I continue to build out our very busy, active, big law firm is we do events all the time. And so it just is a great channel for what I earlier. And so the idea behind it is it hits the top of the funnel where it creates awareness that you exist. It is also creating interest in you because you're doing great things about your, with the content of your event. And then you can engage because you're inviting people through the LinkedIn event portal and other ways I'm going to get into here. So you're engaging with handpicked prospects. All right. So step one, as you get this channel going for your business, and it's awesome that there is no limit to how creative you can be with these events. It's just, where can your imagination take you? How can you help your constituents? And so the first step is recording content for this LinkedIn event. I'm talking here about doing a pre-recorded LinkedIn live stream event, which is what we do a lot of with clients, as opposed to what I'm doing right now, just strictly live. So you record the content. What is the content? This is where your imagination kicks in. I've got Vistage chairs now, for example, that we're doing some really great content around the tariffs, right? Because the people they want to work with, owners of businesses, obviously the tariffs aren't everybody's mind. And instead of just sending articles on tariffs, here's a tariff article, we all see 10 million of those articles in everywhere. That does nothing to position you as an expert, as really helping somebody. It's just so easy to send somebody an article. Who cares? Then nobody thinks anything of you. Like, thank you. They don't. They're probably pissed you're sending them another article they don't want to read. But if you have content where you have an expert, maybe you're the expert, but I'm doing this with some chairs where they are the experts. Prior to being chairs, ran very big divisions and companies, and they are all about tariffs. They know what's going on. So we're doing some really great events, and they are the experts. It builds authority. It shows value from them. It shows their constituents that they're taking the time to put something thoughtful together. So as an example, there's that sort of content. I mean, you could just do anything. The point is, it's got to be valuable, where your network, your prospects, they care about it. And you put yourself in their shoes. What do they care about? What are the challenges, tariffs, opportunities, all these different things that they care about? Speak to those issues. So the content is got to be great. And so now you record the content. It's going to be on Zoom. Do a Zoom. You have a guest. These two chairs are going to go back and forth over tariffs for 20, 25, 30 minutes. It's going to be great. A lot of really good insight. And so you record the content. Now you have it. So now you want to set it up as a LinkedIn event. LinkedIn requires a third-party streaming software called Restream to make this happen. And obviously I pay for it and, to use for my clients, but you have to have this, and you get it. And I'm in the studio of Restream right now doing this, but you set this recording up through Restream. It becomes a LinkedIn event. If you haven't done a LinkedIn event, you have an event portal, and you've probably been invited to events or whatever, but it gets set up in there, and you've got titles, summaries. You can put thumbnail images around it. So the event portal, there's some branding you can do in the event portal, which is pretty cool, but it's set up in there. Now the event is set up. You got to market the event. And this is how you market a LinkedIn event. So it's set up. You got the summary, all that. The recording's great. And then you market it by sending out an email, right? Do you have an email list? Have you gathered email over time? And do you have a list of people that you're nurturing and so forth? If you do, you're sending out an email. Hey, I got this incredible event. Click here to sign up, so forth. And you direct them to LinkedIn to sign up. So email, you market it with your email. And if you're building a business, you have those pieces I showed you, you're gathering emails, and that email list is bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger over time, qualified, and you're nurturing, helping those people by bringing stuff like this to them. So you've got emails going out. Now there's direct messages on LinkedIn, right? Obviously different from an email. So now, with the tools we have, we automate this, we have a dashboard and so forth. But the point is, you send out direct messages to your connections, right? So they get a DM over there on LinkedIn on this event. And then the third way is through the LinkedIn event portal. They've got an invite channel in there for your first level connections, and there's some search functionality in there where you can pull up by company name, location, and so forth in the LinkedIn event portal. And then you can bulk invite people. So you just, boom, 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 invite people. So the marketing is, those are 3 different touches. If they see more than one, okay, fine. Maybe they don't see the email. Maybe you don't have the email, or maybe they see the email, but not the direct message, and, vice versa. But I'm all about get a great event in front of somebody in multiple ways to make sure they see it. And so email, direct message, portal, marketing. Now, what happens is people get pulled into your LinkedIn event portal when you do this the right way. You have that, you can see them, they're in there. You can now engage with these people before, during, and after these LinkedIn events. And it's a best practice. You want to engage with people so they get pulled in. You can message everybody in there at one time, the group. Hey, thanks for jumping in. I look forward to seeing you, at the event. It's great. So engaging beforehand to make sure people show up, but then also during the event, you can engage with them. Hey, where are you from? Whatever whatever it is, you can engage with them during it. And then, as you probably know, the success of any event depends on the follow-up. You do a great event, all that's important, but what about the follow-up? You've got to execute and convert. So now what's great is you have these people that are captive that have been pulled into your LinkedIn event portal. You see them, that event's not going away from your LinkedIn account unless you delete it. It's there forever. So you can see them, follow up, organize them, get their emails, phone numbers, call them. Or, the idea is, okay, these people were interested in your content, send them the replay, because when you do this on LinkedIn, the replay shows up in your news feed right there. And so what will happen is on the day and time you pick, your banner on your LinkedIn profile will flip to the live show. And anyone that happens upon your site sees that thing playing. And also LinkedIn automatically sends out an alert to your network. Hey, you're live. And then also in the portal where people got pulled into the portal, that banner flips to the live show also. So it's playing there, and that's how people watch it. It's very cool. It's a great thing. And if you do this once a month, not a big deal. Record a half an hour event once a month. It is just a big road channel. Separate you from everybody else because they're not doing this. Not doing it. And so if you do it, don't you want to stand out? And so that's the idea here, is to be different, stand out. And I'll tell you now that if you want to talk to me about this or anything that I'm doing and just get to know each other, scan the QR code, fill out your name information so I can get you on the calendar. We can do a Zoom complimentary. This is not a sales pitch. I love establishing relationships. It's fruitful, when we're both coming into this and getting to know each other and what we're doing. I'm a great resource for people. So scan the QR code. You can get with me using that code, and stay tuned. This every Friday, and just constantly trying to help guide and teach the people that I'm connected with. So thanks for being here. See you next time.